Welcome to Video 5 in this MBA workbook series, which deals with choosing which projections to use. Also, congratulations on getting this far. Video 4 was dealing with functions was a bit of an uphill battle, but if you're at Video 5 here, it probably means you have the stamina to appreciate that daily fantasy sports can be beaten with the right preparation. Okay, in an earlier video we mentioned about competitive edge and how important it was to generate better predictions than most of the opposition. Simply put, you don't have to outrun the bear, just half the campers. One of the misconceptions of daily fantasy sports is what exactly are the 50% that you have to outrun? Well, quite a few novices might think that this is a good example of the 50% that you only have to outstrip. The couch potatoes, the people having a beer and watching the TV sports. My analysis of daily fantasy sports leads me to the perception that this is probably closer to the truth. There's a lot of technology used, a lot of smart people running their own algorithms based on their own analysis. So this is very much a practical video on how we can use our varying projection sets to ease ahead of the opposition. So basically I'm going to, without further ado, go into a video that has practical examples of laying bets where we use the leaderboard as an objective assessment of which projection sets to use for a particular day, and at the risk of sounding glib, be the Terminator and not the terminated. So let's look at a few examples. Okay, by way of a quick demo as to one of the easy ways to separate yourself from the field, let's just import some data here from the 19th of December. Okay, so let's go to Teams, press refresh. Okay, we have 6 teams. Let's go to exclusions. Let's exclude the injured. Then we will go to okay, nothing came through. Small bug here in the program that we're going to sort out, but let's just go to settings. The reason it didn't come through was we have to refresh the lineup data. I have to do that because I've actually that only occurs when you do a quick calculation followed by another one where you erase. So okay, having done that, let's go back to the solver. Let's run the filters. And miraculously it works. We've got that through. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the solver, and there is my team. Except what that is the optimized values based on the FanDuel data. So there's going to be a gazillion people out there who have the same solution as you. So what we're going to do is we'll go to the estimator. We're going to go to the, let's just update the function data. Always like to do that. Okay, then we're going to go to the leaderboard and we're going to refresh the leaderboard. Okay, so now what we're doing here is we're seeing how things are running. Remember from the previous video, that is the Excel DFS index of the top X number of crowdsourced estimates running at 7.57 absolute error. So that's me, but I've been playing. Moving average greater than 30 is about what you would expect in the FanDuel folder, and Roto Grinders hasn't been so hot in the last few days. So what this tells me is moving average equals 10 is the hottest place to go at the moment. Moving average equals 5 seems to have dropped a little bit. A couple of days ago that was what was hot. So right now, moving average of the last 10 games is producing the smallest error. So what we'll do is we'll go back and we'll play moving average equals 10. So let's do equals NBA moving average for the player, comma, 10. Okay, now if we remember, we must always make this column the final result. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that moving average of 10 is what I want to play. So I'm going to fill and recalculate. Just wait for the red light to turn green. Okay, that's done. Not too many players today. Then I'm going to transfer that to the solver. Remember to run the solver filters again. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the solver. I'm going to run the filters. And now I'm going to run the solver. Okay, so now I have what is possibly a relatively unique spread, which I believe to be a better mathematical optimization than what is available by just using the data file. And so we have now separated ourselves from the crowd. You are probably just one of the ExcelDFS members who has access to this kind of information. So this is the number I'm going to play, and then I will report back tomorrow on how successful we were. Okay, thank you. Okay, it's now December the 20th, Wednesday, and we are back. Let's take a look at how we did yesterday. Okay, it looks like we came in on the right side of the win line, 36th out of 100. Not comfortably so, but you know, a win is a win on the 50-50s. Looks like we bombed a little bit on Rajan Rondo at 4.9. He was expected to produce a lot more, but as I say, we had enough steam to get back over the line, even with those relatively low results. So okay, let's try today. Yesterday we had 6 teams. I think today is bigger. The more teams playing, the better it is for us mathematical optimizers. So okay, teams, refresh. Alright, so 22, nice. Okay, so let's go to exclusions, exclude the injured, let us first let's go and see how we're going to estimate. Alright, what's the leaderboard doing today? Okay, so moving average equals 10 is still in the top here. By the way, in case you hadn't noticed, we've sort of got moving averages of 5, 20, 25, 15. We've put them all in, although the greater than 30 is synonymous with the actual data in the FanDuel and DraftKings data files. We've put these in because it gives you a good indicator of what you should play. Now, the absolute mean error here is 7.27. ExcelDFS is not too far behind. They're all pretty well bunched up. RotoGrinders is down at 7.6. So what I'm going to do today is, because I like the idea of the ExcelDFS being an average of several of the top players who actually got their predictions in before 12 o'clock noon. So I don't really know who's in this. I mean, if Movie Man didn't get his prediction until 1 o'clock, although he's really good, he's not in. So anyway, I'm going to play ExcelDFS today. And so the way I do that is I go to the crowdsource predictions. Crowdsource predictions have been successfully downloaded. So now I simply transfer those to the solver, and then we are ready to use those. So let's go to the solver now. Let's run the filters. Okay. Right. That's a little bug we're going to work on in the next edition in a few days. Until we do, we'll just have to refresh the lineup data. Basically, I've been using this sheet previous to this video, and you can only update automatically after so many minutes. It only does it every 5 minutes or so. So I have to go there, but that's going to be put on the bug list. Okay, let's try that again. Yeah. Alright, so now, not rostered is that. So we've got 189, we've got quite a few. Let me just run the solver on that. Then I'm going to do, I don't know, 299. Alright, let me just save those. Save those here. And then I'm going to do what my sort of risk-averse nature tells me to do, and take out the bench folks. So I'm going to run the filters again and see what I've got. Okay. So let's solve those. So I'm still looking at 295. Did much change there? Let's have a look. Alright, so 295, 299, so I lost about 4 points. Okay. You know, I'm going to go for the top one, so this is going to be the bet I'll place today, and see how we do tomorrow. Great. Okay, just got to laying the bets here, and got down to Kentavious Caldwell Pope, and he is out, not injury related. That rarely happens, but it does happen. So basically both these bets are now null and void because the guy's out. So what we need to do is just go back to the exclusions. Let's put in Contavious, enter him, and he will go to the bottom of the list there. Although he's not injured, he's out. So now we go back to the solver and let's run the filters. Run the solver. Actually, I think I'll do 2 bets today. Let's take that one over. And we'll go back here and we'll allow the bench. And then we'll run the filters again. Okay, see, so that should improve our odds slightly. Okay, notepad. Alright, so what have we got here? 293 and 302. Both have Russell Westbrook. They seem somewhat different. So I'm going to put both of those bets on and see how we do tomorrow. Okay, these are our bets entered. I've just noticed a speech bubble against Kyle Anderson's name, and apparently he's just coming back for the first time off of an injury. So in all probability, he's the only one who's got a sort of grey area next to him. I might well have replaced him with somebody else, but you know, that's why they call it gambling. So I'll leave it in for now, because essentially this is really really a video about how you use the software, as opposed to what your risk tolerance is. As you've probably realized with my dollar bets, and I'm more into the programming and data processing side than I am into the game itself. But there it is, those are the bets, and we'll see how we do tomorrow. Okay, so it's now 11 AM on the 21st of December, so looks like we did pretty well with our 2 bets. The first bet came in, or one of the bets came in 11th out of 100. So there we are, number 11. Notice all the stars here, really experienced players, the Terminators. And so that was our bet, came in at 306. Victor, the one with Victor in. Okay, and the other bet was number 1. So we came the top of the pile there with 369. This is the day you wish you'd put $100 on it and made 100,000 or whatever. Well, I don't. That's not. I'm not a big better. So interesting. So we came first, and which bet was that? That was. Let's go back to the solver, page 2. So the highest bet, the highest prediction, had Alec Burks as number 3. So, oh no, alright, so the highest prediction was Russell Westbrook and Kyrie Irving. So that means the second one with Tyler Johnson. Okay, so the highest bet was in fact the one that we limited to starters only. So in that case, we allowed the bench on the second bet, but the one that actually came out top, I believe, was the one where we didn't allow the bench. Okay, make what you will of that. As I say, that's what they call it, gambling. But either way, we did well, and we did well on both the bets. So just to conclude, basically my belief is more teams equals more data, and more data favors the mathematical optimization approach over the player knowledge, purely player knowledge approach. That might be because I'm somebody with particularly low knowledge of the NBA game. So make what you will of that, and be guided by the fact that you might like to bet more or less on days which have more data as opposed to less. Okay, well, thank you for listening to this video, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.